All right. Let's see who's next. All right, Crovia.
Yeah.
What's up, man? All
Hey.
right, let's open this.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait, did you link a VOD?
Yeah. I linked 3.
Oh, there you did. Sorry. Oh, okay. Landing phase, huge.
Yes. So I would like to spend maybe less effort on the details, and maybe you can look a little bit more for patterns and red flags. And if you could just
Hmm.
I want to test my own ability to see what's wrong. So if you could just ask me questions like, why do you think this is bad or whatever, I think that'd be
Yeah.
nice.
Okay.
So I
Cool.
have Briar as a counter pick. I blind Anivia, but right now I want to focus on Briar. Um,
All right. What do
and
you, out of curiosity, like, what do you like picking Briar into? Because, like, I would say, like, Briar's real strength is into melees, but, like, do you
yeah,
like playing it into range as well?
she's my counter pick into Assassins, Yasuo of Yone, but also really passive laners like Aurelion Soul and Smolder. She does into.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Okay.
like
I think
to
I'm down with that.
think of her like a little bit like a Silas, because she has a very similar style where she needs to fight and trade to generate any value. If she can't just sit back
Yeah.
and she roams well and stuff like that. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. I'm down. All right. So lane starts pretty normally. I think. Let's see. So we go for right here. That's fine. Like you proc your PTA. You have more sustain. I think you may want to be careful doing this if you don't have D shield. Like I don't know. Obviously you can sustain up a bit later, but I think that just like in general as melees, right? Like you want to be able to chase your opponent down like as far as possible. And I think level 1, like the wave's just not going to be in a spot where you can chase your opponent like all the way down the lane. Like what you might prefer is to just like shove the first 2 waves or whatever, have it crash, and then bounce back, and then you might have more of a window. So
yeah,
let's see. I'm not sure how much you heal, so I actually want to check. Like maybe. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
It looks to me like the wave control is like really cooked. So let's back up on this. So there's basically 2 ways to open the lane as a melee. You can um, either shove first 2 waves and let it bounce to you,
Yeah.
or just like let it shove to begin with.
Yeah,
And so
usually I would
if you're gonna,
always try to
you
let
go.
the mate shove, and I think it was because of I went for the PTA trade because I felt he was pretty
Yeah,
low
yeah,
threat.
that's what
I
I was
ended
gonna
up
say.
messing up my wave. But yeah,
Yeah,
generally
so
Briar is pretty weak until level 3. Weaker than other melees, I would say.
yeah, I think also you should be. I think it's really good if you can make them like. So one little trick you can do as a melee is like if you stand on the wave and they auto you, like that's gonna make
Yeah, it'll
them push to
pull
you,
the
right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it is absolutely worth, like maybe if it was a bit closer here, taking 1 or 2 autos to guarantee the wave state. So I think yeah, that's definitely something you can think about a bit more, like prioritizing good wave state early, because I
yeah,
kind of look at this and it's like,
yeah. I think I slipped a bit
it's
this game. Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, like it's already pretty hard by
Yeah,
this
it's
point,
cooked.
and
Yeah,
then like here it's like really unplayable because there isn't a great way to get this wave under in time, and like now you're just so low that at the timing like you would be spiking, the wave is cooked and like you're already very low, which feels very bad. Yeah, like the wave is just like permanently cooked. So
right.
I honestly think wave control is like pretty much everything there. But to be honest,
So
like
I
it's
I
coming back
traded
to you
1 for 1
now.
there, and because I wanted to get out of this wave state, and I got first blood,
Yeah,
etc. I'm not sure if it was a good idea because I have so much kill threat on him. I don't necessarily need to die for it, but because of the wave, I went for it.
yeah.
I could have
Honestly,
also
I'm
crashed with
down for
E,
this.
but and then just
Yeah, no,
chilled.
I'm
But
I'm down for this.
okay, good.
I think it's good. And I like the wave coming back to you now. Like this feels really good. I'd say here, like this is probably a bit too early again, though. So I look at this and it's like, okay, funnily enough, Asol kind of functions like a melee champ because like he needs distance to run you down. It's the same thing with playing against like Cassio or I don't know, I can't think of another one, but like there's some range champs that want that space to run you down. And so
Yeah.
both of you want the wave on your side. So if I'm you here, I think what you should do is just like wait a bit until he's like closer to your side, and that way he doesn't have this like counter trade of being able to chase you
Sure.
all the way down the lane.
But I'm really not concerned about being low HP as long as I have him below 70%. He's in my kill range.
Yeah, honestly, that surprised me. Like, I'm very surprised you could kill him there. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, like again, you know the Briar limits much better than I do. Like, I don't play Briar mid,
Yeah.
obviously. So yeah,
So bad
I think
trades are
if
good for Briar in general because I sustain and
you
I
have more
have
to
a
say,
very
yeah,
high
yeah, I'm
kill
down for
range.
that. I still look at that as like I'm not sure if that's that good for you.
Yeah,
Like,
it was pretty
I don't know if
bad. Yeah, that
yeah, I
worse
think
than
you
I
can
thought it
just
would
do
be.
that ever so slightly later, and it just looks like way better.
Yeah, and I
But
ended
okay,
up
to
in
your
tower
credit,
range. That was
like,
not
you
the
can
intention, but yeah. And here I
Yeah,
just
that's
Briar
funny.
fuck up, so I end up giving a kill back.
Yeah,
But
that is
so
so funny, man. That's
yeah.
just I love that. Okay, I think at this point, like, you're pretty
So
stable.
right, so
Like, it should
here
be.
I want to abuse my kill threat, but I couldn't really. I was trying to get freezes and stuff, but like it just took so long to get the wave state in a
Yeah,
good
the wave
position.
comes out.
And yeah, I pushed because
Yeah,
he
bases.
recalled, yeah, and then like I just never got a freeze on him or anything.
Okay, because I mean, this looks like he should be pretty doomed. Yeah, like I'd say this spot is pretty good. How did this even? Let's go back a bit. Because
Yeah,
like I'd say right now, like the wave, I'd say here, like be careful pulling the wave. Like
yeah,
so.
that was bad.
Just notice like you do
I
tank.
just went for the
It's
CS and
not
I ended up
that
pulling it
big.
because he killed all the minions at the same
Yeah, it
time.
is kind of annoying. I think one of the tricks is like just knowing which CS you have to give up. Obviously, it takes like quite a bit of practice, but your
Right.
wave state is so important, and you'll deny so much more by keeping it
Yeah.
like perma-frozen.
True.
So I think that was an angle there for sure. Yeah, even this is like kind of okay. Like Vel'Koz is sort of ruining his wave for him.
So
Yeah,
usually
this
here
wave's
I'll
coming
I'll
to
try
you.
to get like a very hard freeze with way too many enemy minions, just so I can trade without breaking the wave state, right? And I don't mind taking the damage.
Yeah,
But then he just resets, and then I push it out, look for, I hover the play, wasn't anything there.
I would say you should actually not hit this wave. Like when I see a
Okay,
soul ball like this, I think you can just keep the wave
okay,
frozen.
okay.
I
I
think
wanted,
like
I have
you
1,100 gold, so I wanted to freeze, but I could recall on a freeze, yeah? I've just,
yeah,
he would
you can
just
either
crash
you
though, wouldn't
can
he?
I mean, like, I think he wouldn't have time. Like, I think that okay, right now, if you see a soul ball, you could just press B. I think it'd be
Okay,
okay.
isn't
But
the weight too
honestly,
big
I
for
think
that? The wave is too big for that, no?
you can thin it a little bit. I mean, you can come thin it and then base if you want. Like, you could thin it and then pull the wave to the bush and then base. Like, I think you have options. In any case, though, I would actually say staying here is not the end of the world. Like, you're
Yeah, I
right. Like,
do
you
end
have
up
not
staying
spent your
because he
gold,
comes
but he
back
hasn't
quick,
spent
yeah.
it either. And like, if he loses this wave and another wave, even if he has more gold than you, I think
Okay,
he'll be like really doomed. Like, his wave will be cooked and stuff. So.
yeah.
I think you kind of broke your own like wave advantage there, but I don't know. I mean, there are options. Like if you wanted to, for example, what you could do is you could just shove this wave, reset, and spend your gold, and then be in position to fight grubs. Like I think that's an option too. Basically, I think this is you either need to I guess in this spot, you need a hard
Play for
commit
kills or play
to like lane
to help the
or the
team.
skirmish. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's like okay, if we're playing for lane, we're gonna like just freeze this. We're gonna keep it here, and then what we're gonna say is like okay, because we have 1,000 gold, we're not gonna take a team fight. We're just gonna play 1v1. If you do want to fight grubs, and remember like that's a pretty what's the word like it's a very replicable window. Like you can literally do this every game if you want. You can reset a wave before grubs, spend all your money, come back to the map really strong, and then like take this fight. But what you shouldn't do is something in between where it's like we have decided to stay and we're like trying to take this fight, but we've got 4.5 kills worth of gold. Like you're just never gonna win if that's the case.
Right. So I mean, I wanted to nuke the wave and then reset, but then he came back, and then I felt like, but then the wave state was kind of bad, so maybe I should just take a loss. I don't know.
I would say in that case, it's like you probably just like do this too late. Like if you're wanting to play for this grub or these grubs, you just shove this wave and reset. And it's like, okay, yeah, that kind of gives a soul the wave, but it's not exactly free. Like the punishment is that okay, if he decides to stay and clear the wave, he will be one wave later than you to grubs, which like that's your advantage then, right? It's like
Okay.
rather than having 1v1 advantage, you have the advantage in the fight instead.
Yeah, and I think you're right that I'm hovering in between the 1v1 and the skirmish, because he's not giving me the 1v1 that I actually want, and then I end up in a bad
Yeah.
middle place. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this definitely felt kind of awkward. Okay, I think we can go to the other VOD. I'd say at this point, like, it's kind of
Yeah, I
whatever.
might
Like,
have a specific question. So
oh, yeah,
I
if
end
you
up
have one.
buying early Tiamat just because the buy ends up being that way. But that kind
Yeah.
of prevents me from being able to freeze the lane ever again.
Yeah, I
Um,
think that's fine. In my
okay,
opinion, once you get at this stage of the game, like, freezing at 10 minutes is kind of troll.
okay.
Not because it's, like, useless, but just because normally
Even
there's
against an
just more to
ASOL that I
do at
have a
that
lot of
point.
kill threat on.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say then it's like, okay, like how much kill threat do you have just like in the jungle or like, on other lanes or whatever, right? It's like
Sure.
you could freeze, but there kind of comes a point where you can just get more value by pushing and warding, roaming, leveraging plays with your jungler. Like there's just more to do, I think.
Okay. And
Whereas like
you
early,
wouldn't
they're just like
think
a
too hard
lot.
about that being an asshole who wants to just scale
No, I
immediately.
don't think so.
Okay,
I would
cool.
just say like just as a general rule, the longer the game goes on, the less valuable freezing becomes. And I'd probably say like I think 8 minutes is roughly like a good timer to be like, okay, it's generally not that worth freezing anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of my take. Okay, let's see the center game. So one thing I would like maybe do, by the way, is there's like a world where you can start cheesing level one. So like obviously like you're not meant to get prior, which means it's kind of difficult for you to get a ward on their
Yeah, I do a
raptors,
lot of
right? Like
like
if you're
running
getting
bot
plugged
lane
in.
and then killing them in the brush. I get a lot of first bloods out of
Okay,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, and I do
I was
top lane
also gonna
sometimes as
say
well.
like
Yeah.
something you can do is like you can literally just like path straight here out of base and just like ward over this wall. And like if this person ever tries to fish for this raptor ward, like you can just kill them probably.
No, I don't have
So
that. Well, I don't have kill threat level 1. Like I can get a big trade, but then they can trade on me on the way out, and it ends up. I mean, it's pretty good. It's yeah, maybe I should try it. Yeah, okay.
I think if you're like D-shield into Syndra, like
Yeah,
in my opinion, she cannot like if you trade health evenly, it's so
yeah.
unbelievably favorable for you.
True, true, true. Okay.
So I don't know. It's just
But
something
then
you
I end
should
up
think
with
about. Like
with my W level 1, and then I can't really play until level 2. But which is also I'll lose some CS, but yeah, it's probably worth it. Okay, but I usually
yeah,
always
I
go for
mean like
either cheese bot lane or I go Raptor ward.
yeah, that's fine. As long as you're doing something, I don't actually care too much what you do. I just kind of looked at this and it's like it looked like Syndra matched you on the Raptor ward. Oh, actually, never mind. No, she didn't. I thought she warded Raptors, and given that you're strong level one, I think there are ways to prevent that. But anyway, this is still good. Waves coming to your sides. This is fine. Yeah, we're just chilling. Nothing really to do other than just survive for now.
Yeah, I shouldn't have used pot there, I think,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, no, definitely too early, but even this is fine.
so here I've been having trouble getting this one cannon, so I'm saving my E for it in this case. I can usually just tank some damage, not a big deal. But then
Yep,
I
I think
can't
this is
engage
all.
until my E is up again. It's 16-second cooldown.
Yeah, I think that's kind of just like reality. Like I think that if
Yeah,
you're into a matchup where they have like quite a lot of strength early, you're gonna lose something, which is kind of what happened here. Like I think, yeah, no, I like how you play this overall. I think this is good. Wave state's really good, so that's great. Okay, she has no stun and the wave's frozen.
yeah, she's very close to my kill range here. If I have a long lane, a lot of space to run her down.
Yeah, especially when her stun was down.
End up like not
Huge.
playing perfectly against the stun, but that's just that Briar thing I have other resources for. Since I've
Yeah,
taken a
I
recall.
liked this early game. Like, I think this one overall looked pretty good. I do think, okay, one thing you need to be very aware of though is if your opponent's playing TP and you're playing Ignite, you generally need to match them on the base. So, like right here, you probably what you have to do is you've got to walk into one of these bushes and reset. Now, it should be top bush because, or sorry, it should be bot bush because you probably know the enemy jungler's top side. Like, okay,
Yeah,
let's
I
talk
know.
about that first. You know the enemy jungler's top
Yeah,
side
I'm good
because
at jungle
Yi
tracking,
did
and I
block
had the
that.
Raptor ward, so I know where it is.
Okay, good. Yeah. All right. So
He's
yeah,
he's
what you need to
finishing
do
top
here
crab.
is you
Yeah.
need to come into this bush, and what I would do is I would wait maybe 2 seconds and then start your base. So the one thing you've got to be careful of is if you come here and instantly base, Syndra could cancel her base and just shove. That's why normally what I do is I like wait maybe 2 seconds and
Yeah.
then base.
Okay.
And that way it's like if Syndra is counting to 8 and she's like, okay, I'm waiting for Briar to reset, she's gonna be off by a couple seconds, she'll show, and then you can show and stop her. But it's really, really important that you get a base off here somehow
Yeah.
because you can see,
And
right?
I
Like if you
overgreed
decide to
the place I base because I tried to do some dumb optimizations. So yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I think honestly, I think this is too late anyway. Like, but now that Stinner's already TPing, like, even if Sas didn't stop you, I think she would have shoved the whole wave on a turret and you'll just like lose this whole wave. So you go from being in a really good spot to
Okay.
now pretty fucked. I think here as well, this is you should realize this is quite lucky. Like if Sinner
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
holds her stun,
Yeah.
like she can never die. I'm not even sure
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
used it, but like I like you absolutely got yourself bailed out here, and that
Yeah.
like shouldn't happen. I think it was very, very lucky. But okay, like to your credit, like you punished her, but that saved you a lot. And the core thing I want you to be aware of there is like basically like the first base dynamic in Ignite versus TP. It's basically like most of the time you need to match the recall unless you can somehow get the base off. And you know, it's
Yeah.
just
And
again
I
that
just
little
greeted
trick
the
of
where I tried to base, which was dumb. Yep.
yep, yep. Okay,
And
good
it was too late. You
vision.
said okay. Yeah. Noted.
Yeah, yeah. I think if you can go to the bush as well, like just to make it less obvious, makes it harder for her to make the
So here I end up
decision.
having a turn. I do a roam.
Yeah, this is good. Like roaming your jungler's side, your bot lane has lots of CC.
Yeah.
I like this play. I think this is really good.
I could have dived there, but it was a little frisky, so I didn't go for it.
Yeah, no, this is fine. In my opinion, when you go bot, the most important person to chunk or kill is the AD carry. Like that's the
Yeah.
person you're trying to stop from farming. So at this point, like don't get me wrong, if you get free kills, you take them, but your job is done. Like you don't
Okay.
need to do anything
Yep.
else here.
That's something I could consider more.
Okay, hit the plate, get the base. This is all pretty good.
And would you believe me if I... Wait, was this the right game? Oh, no mind. No mind. Oh yeah, we FF15 this game. Oh, my team did. I voted no, but the rest of them voted
Oh,
yes.
interesting. The game doesn't look that bad.
Yeah, I agree. So like suddenly I just saw the surrender vote with 4 yeses, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's crazy. No, oh yeah, wow, yeah, 1506. That's a pretty short game. Let's look at this. I think
So yeah, I end up dying a couple times here on maybe bad rotations or whatever. So that's what I wanna look at here.
yeah, one thing I'd maybe say here, and like I don't know how important it is for you to get like your Titanic ASAP, but just for this game in particular, like Merc Tread's value is like
Yeah, I
really high.
regretted
So
not
like
buying Mercs, especially with Silas there as well. Yeah, I agree.
yeah, exactly. Like it is
Yeah,
specifically they're great against Sinner, but they're like,
yeah.
they also have Lulu and Stylus, like
And
two
it
other APs.
amplifies my sustain and everything. Yeah, so I agree.
Yeah, it probably would make your life a little bit easier.
Yeah, and I need the speed when she knocks me back and stuff like that. I'm trying to engage on
Yeah,
her,
it
but
feels
she ends up, pulling me out, so I engage on the minions instead.
Yeah, I honestly think this is just Merc's diff. Like, I think the Giants
Yeah,
belt instead of Merc's, that's what's making this feel really bad. Because it should be that, like, if she stuns you or whatever like this, and you get out of that quicker and you get on her, like, I think she's doomed, actually. Like, it ends up being that she's able to kill you. But I honestly think that is just, like, straight item diff. I think,
sure.
yeah, Mercs just make this, like, unplayable for her pretty much.
Yeah. So I end up taking grubs here. So I get a turn. So I end up taking grubs here. It dumps a lot of my tempo. I'm not sure if it was worth it.
I'd say it's fine. I think ideal world, you get these without having to drop a wave. But I also think that, like, in this spot, like
Yeah, I could have left
your
earlier
lane's not
here. I
going
should have left
amazingly.
now.
Like it's Yeah, you could have dipped earlier, I guess.
Yeah.
But honestly,
Okay.
I'd say it's not bad.
You don't. So my jungler didn't start it or indicate he wanted it. So I just kind of like forced it because I knew he was nearby. Okay.
Yeah, I think again, like it's a pretty weird thing to do as a mid laner in general, but like
Yeah, but
obviously
Briar can
Briar
do it.
does them
So yeah.
reasonably fast, right? So yeah, that's a bit different.
Yeah, so
Okay,
here
yeah, let's
I
take
have
a
a
look at this.
turn. I see bot lane is weak, so I just hover it. I see they go to recall, so I back off, and then
Yeah,
I'm dead. So like vision is maybe
yes.
a thing I'm not playing properly around.
I wouldn't have said this is a vision thing. I would actually say here, like the biggest thing was just like you moved back to mid too late. Like I kind of said in one of the previous VODs, but generally you want to be on the mid wave when it meets at the latest. That's kind of when
Right,
you
but I
want to be
wanted to
there.
see if they
Otherwise, you're going
wanted
to lose
to
a fight.
crash that wave. If they did, I could go for a pick. Right, looks pretty good.
Yeah, but like you already see them walking away, right? Like I don't know. I think
Okay,
that
maybe my reaction time was slow on
well,
that.
yeah, no, admittedly, it isn't like a hugely long window. I don't know. It's a hard one, I think.
I see.
I think I'm not sure if I'd ever be in the river here, to be honest. But
Okay. I mean, I'm in
yeah, I
Emerald,
don't
so I
know.
see a lot of like people like crashing that wave with no HP. So,
Yeah, fair enough. Like if you think there's a reasonable
but
chance, I
dying
think
there, was that like totally dumb, or was it like
yeah, I think
kind
it's
of
pretty hard to
unlucky? Or
avoid, to be honest. Like, I don't know. If you see Silas on your map here, maybe you can be aware, like, okay, this guy's gonna pass through mid. But I imagine, like, in this moment,
and
you're
the
like
dragon is up.
staring at the ball wave, right? Like you're not looking at your map at all, I would assume. Because you don't see
Yeah,
Silas
I
for
don't
that
think I
long
saw
there.
Silas.
So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So no, I would say that's okay. Honestly, I really do think this game is mostly just like the first recall and the Merc Treads. I think that's what made this game really difficult.
Okay.
So we can take a look at the other one real
Yeah.
quick.
And in this one, I end up dying early because I don't know the limits in the matchup, so I'm a little bit behind. I'm still stronger than him afterwards, though.
Okay. Okay, he's playing
So yeah,
Conquer,
he
I assume.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
been
okay.
thinking about I probably should go Conqueror in this matchup, but yeah, we'll get to that. So he kind of gives me
Yeah,
level
I think
two,
pretty
so I
fair.
take it.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. Nice trade.
But
Okay,
then the
this
wave
is
is
pretty good.
awkward. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. The one thing here is like if you're planning on two wave crashing, which like maybe you didn't plan on it, but it's like what has ultimately
Right, but I
happened.
don't
You
have the
need to
pushing
make sure
power on
that
Briar, right? So maybe
let's say I'm pretty sure you can. Like I think that
okay, just with all
right
those.
here,
Yeah,
like
but
yeah,
we're
right
gonna.
here, you just need to order the wave a
Yeah,
bit more. Like
yeah,
honestly, you're very, very close to the wave going under. I only need a couple more. But yeah, like
yeah,
this spot coming here instead of like back to the middle is a big deal because like yeah, it's obviously very awkward. I think if the wave does end up like that, this will push back to you eventually, right? Like the
yeah,
wave will pull up and stuff. You just
yeah,
need to be a bit more patient. Like I think this trade is like really, really
yeah. That was
risky.
dumb. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing there. And panic
Yeah, and like
ignites.
losing Ignite there, I think is actually a pretty big deal as well.
Yeah,
Because like if
he.
you have Ignite in level 3, you can cut his healing in the fight. Seems like pretty important. But yeah, now it's like the wave is coming back to you, which should be like your really good time to trade. But we've lost so much health and we don't have Ignite that it feels kind of hard. Like I actually think if you'd had Ignite here, I think there's a decent chance you just fucking kill this guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
I think
he
that'd be
does
pretty
the
close.
E hold, which is really good of him. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
whatever.
maybe
I
just get
know
like one shot.
what went wrong here. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Making sure the two wave crashes is good.
Yeah, it's a really big one. Okay, nice. You trade back pretty well. This guy has to base. Okay, so you kind of recover. Yeah, he's just always up a level though, which is annoying.
Right? If we ever like if we're low, then I just win the trade because I have an execute modifier on my heal and damage. So
Nice. Yeah, that was well played.
this is why I picked Brian to assassins because she can just do that. And I didn't know where Belveth was. Like she should be bot side here. She could come for me. It was a bad dive there. I thought I had the kill. I
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, if you think you just get the kill, like I think it's different. I'd say one thing here as well is like I was talking about in one of the previous VODs, like kind of knowing those windows where you're extra vulnerable. So like if you look right now, like one, your bot lane is not gankable because they're not even there. And
Yeah.
two, your Graves is showing top. And importantly, Belveth is not counter ganking top. So I look at
Yeah.
this and it's like the chances of Belveth coming mid are they're like higher now than ever. It's not guaranteed, obviously, but I think this is like a really scary time to play aggro.
Yeah, yeah. I
Now,
tunnel
once
vision a
again, like
little
if
bit and like yeah, but in the review I could easily see like Belveth could have so easily killed me even if the tower doesn't. So
yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah, I think once Belveth shows top, like like if we're just playing here and we're like seeing the turn, I think the moment you see Belveth top, now it's different. Like now you can play really aggro if you
yeah.
want. So, yeah, I guess
And
like what
even
I'd
if
say here
Belveth
is
was
just like,
there, if I knew I had the kill, trading one for one would have been pretty decent there because he's like ahead
yeah,
and
I
I'm
agree.
denying a
The
big
wave is
cannon
good.
wave and yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe like a little more awareness of jungle. And I actually think when I say this, by the way, I actually mean more your jungle than theirs. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
you mentioned that you're good at jungle tracking, but I think a lot of people don't track their own jungler, which is
yeah.
like arguably more important. Like you've got to be very aware of like what your jungler is doing as well. And obviously you
Yeah,
have full
I've died
info.
so many times to roaming to the opposite side of my own jungler that like yeah, I've learned the lesson that way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really common one. Okay. And then I think after this game's like kind of out of control. So biggest things I would say for you is I think you definitely want to think more about your early levels and like wave control. Like it feels like right now you definitely end up in a spot where like you haven't prioritized your wave state and it can end up being kind of difficult for you to do stuff is what I'd say.
Yeah,
I guess another one is just playing like Ignite versus TP in general. I think that's something where there's like a few set outcomes to that. For example, like maybe you kill them and then it's really easy, or maybe you're having to match the base, maybe you're needing to like keep them in lane or something. But that it should be something that is very replicable. I think again, it's going to happen a lot.
yeah,
I guess another one would be just like kind of I think your like tempo use, or let's say your prior usage slash tempo. Mostly what I mean by that is like, I guess like planning your move in advance, like what do you actually want to do, and making sure like you're back on the next wave in time. And then let's also say that like as the game goes on, especially like 8 minutes plus, like freezing starts to become like less valuable. And I think
yeah,
stuff like it is a good set play all the time to just like go home and spend your gold before grubs. It just puts you in
Yeah.
like a really, really strong position. And like obviously you're a great skirmisher. So I think, yeah, that's
Yes.
probably the big
I
ones
did have a
that I
quick
can think
question.
of.
So at 14-minute and 22-minute mark, I have some questions in that game you have open there.
And this one? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So it was just like at 14
14.
minutes, I died rotating from top to bot, and like we haven't seen Pantheon in a while, and then he ends up killing me here. I knew he was stronger than me, but I didn't think he would be. I don't know. I just wasn't thinking about what he was doing, and he ends up catching me.
Yeah, I would say the thing is here, like, I don't think you really have any business roaming anyway. Like, okay, maybe it's like
Right, but I
disrespect for
want to get
Pantheon, but I'm not.
to. Yeah, I just want to join my team. I don't want to push top because he's stronger than me, right? So I could
Yeah,
have
but like,
recalled
do you want
and
to
went
join your
there, I
team? Like,
guess.
there's nothing up. The problem is, like, if you go to your team now and Pantheon keeps going top, it's like there's
Yeah,
nothing to force because there's no
yeah, you're right.
objective. Like, I think if Dragon is soon,
Oh yeah,
then
I'm
okay,
pinging
like,
bot lane because I
sure.
want bot lane. I want to lane swap with her mid, but then I should recall. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, in that case, you would base. I think I don't know. To me, I would say you just like stay top probably, or yeah, like balling goes mid and you like reset the ball. I think I don't know. It
But
is
let's
hard
say
to
there
know
was a
exactly
play
what
mid.
Pantheon.
Like, is this just that? Like, I have a hard time creating rules or patterns for how to
I
approach
would
this
say
situation in general.
I think like if you think there's a play mid like Jin's really low or whatever, the biggest thing would probably be like realizing that all right, if your jungler is bot side, you need to be careful on top side. Like you're weak sided, right? Like your job
Yeah.
here is basically to live. If you can do something more, that's great. But honestly, I think simply by living here, in theory, your team is like getting stuff bought, right? And especially because you're behind, I don't know, it's like very hard to make a proactive play. I think this is just like one, yeah, you're very weak. Two, you're weak sided. And three, like you don't have any like knowledge of Pantheon.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Fair
don't know. The
enough.
real answer to this though is like don't fall behind, unfortunately. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
but
don't get
I
me
mean,
wrong,
Briar
like
will
you can
lose
play
when
this
we
better,
won
but
against a lot of top laners. Like, if it was a Darius, it didn't matter. I was behind. I would still lose that one. Um,
yeah, okay, fair. But and then in that case, it's like you probably just like can't even move to begin with. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, and then 22 minutes was the other one you said?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it was just like a late game macro thing. Dragon is coming up. We're pretty far behind, so we go for the pick on Silas,
Yeah.
and we kind of end up losing the game of this. And of course, like we're so far behind that maybe it's not worth looking at all. But like this kind of mentality for a comeback is
Yeah,
to
I would say this is like probably the best option you have. Like if you can't contest Dragon and you can't win a 5v5, like
yeah
you should try and trade on the other side of the map. So like killing Silas probably is the best thing to do. But like you're right that to be honest, the game's fucking
yeah yeah
over. Like they've got
okay
Sona Bell. That's like it's over. I don't think it's important at all. But that is the right play. Like if you're gonna do something, I think what you did is correct.
yeah okay. A few questions about like vision then. So I end up
Sure.
often like I'm up 2 kills or whatever, and I want to kill my lane opponent, but like the moment I go in, the support and jungler is there, right? You know the drill.
Yeah.
And Briar,
Yeah.
like Silas and Diana, can't get out once she goes in, so I'm
Mhm.
just dead in that situation every time. And like oftentimes I don't have any wards left, and I'm not sure if I should have bought a pink ward, and I just end up like I don't have the discipline to just sit back, so I'll like rely on my intuition to whether I think I'm safe right now and my
Yeah.
what tracking
So
information I have.
I think next time it happens, send me a clip and I can give you more specific advice. But
Okay,
generally, like what your setup should look like is something like this. Like normally you should buy at least one pink for early game if you can defend it and have some sort of setup like this. Like if you can ward one side or ward the other side like this, and this will make you pretty strong. If for
right, but
whatever
even if
reason, like I
I
don't know,
can't lean as Briar once I go in, if the jungler is on the other side, right?
right,
I
but
would
you
say it's
can you
similar to
can kind of
Diana,
use
right?
this to yeah, but you can like use this to figure out like where they might be, right? Like there's a very
Okay,
big difference between like, okay,
so
if you spot the jungler here, even if you can't lead to the spot, like you know you can do whatever because he's
or
on
if I
moves
spotted
or
him,
something, right?
40 seconds ago there, I know he's probably topside, right?
Yeah, yeah, you can figure that out. And I think other than that, like the things you have to look at again is like your team. For example, like if the support is mid, there generally is a way of knowing the support is mid. For
Yeah, the
example,
wave
let's
stand,
say
but like
that
support tracking is a
yes,
big
exactly.
learning for
Like
me.
if
I need
this
to
guy
work
isn't
on. Yeah.
punished,
But
Yeah,
there's
well,
so much. You
to
have
your
to
in
track
your
the bottling wave
defense,
so hard. So yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
yes, in your defense, it is hard. Like I think tracking
Yeah.
the support is much more difficult than the jungle, but it
Yeah.
is possible. You can look at your AD. You can also look at your own support's tempos. So generally, like they'll be more or less matched plus minus one wave. So like for example, if your support is recalling, there's a good chance this guy is either here, or if your support comes mid first, this guy will probably come mid a wave later, right? So like they will be kind of synced up. Another thing is again, like looking at your jungler, there's a very big difference all inning when your jungler's on Raptors compared to Krugs. Like if your jungler's on Raptors, maybe you can like run away and maybe they can help you. If your jungler's on Krugs, there's no universe, so they're going to be able to help you. Same with the river. Like if your jungler is on Scuttle or like making a play here, invading Raptors, super different. So yeah, again, I would just send me a clip next time you have it happen and we can talk about it more.
Okay.
My guess is like there are clues on the map beyond just vision setup that are like telling you probably not to do this. But I'd have
Yeah,
to
I
see
mean,
to
yeah.
know.
So let's assume I don't have any vision or knowledge about the enemy jungler.
Yeah.
And I don't have my ward for 70 seconds or whatever. And I'm just sitting there bleeding, even though I could kill them easily. And that's just how I
Yeah.
gotta play it, right? Is that right?
Yeah, well, at that point, it's like I don't know. You have to roll the dice. Basically, it's like, do
Yeah, that's what.
you
Yeah.
do you
Okay.
take the risk or not? And unfortunately, like there is no risk-free play, and even that, like there are ways to stack that in your favor. For example, like let's say that mid is really volatile, top is a full HP tank under the turret, bot lane is playing wave clear, all sums under their turret. Like let's be honest, they're not ganking bot and they're not ganking top, right?
Right.
At the same time, let's say it's the other way around. This is like carry versus carry. They're both low. This is like, I don't know, Draven versus Kalista, and they're heavily fighting. Like now that risk is far less likely because there is a good chance they're looking at one of the other lanes as well. So
Okay. So you think
again,
it's
it is hard to consider all this, but there normally are ways to,
give them
again,
any
kind of
hints?
stack the deck in your favor, but it can never be perfect, right? Like it
Okay.
is still a risk.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm unsure about is should I just always follow the rule that if I don't have like if I'm not like 80% plus sure or like 90% plus sure that I'm not gonna get ganks, then just never go for it? Or is it okay to like
Uh,
use my intuition and the hints and like some?
yes, no, I would take risks. I would take
Okay.
some risks. I don't
Okay.
think
Good.
it should be like, oh, I should just never trade if I think I'm going to die.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't, I wouldn't play like that.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Um. So I like to pick Briar into assassins.
Yeah.
Because I can beat them in lane and often get a lead, etc. But like, how much should I just instead of just focus on not taking risks so they don't get ahead and just like neutralizing them? Because that's often like what a mage wants to do against an assassin, right?
Yeah. I think, I don't know, kind of depends on the assassin.
Yeah,
Like some
it's
assassins actually have like pretty decent scaling, right? Like I think you're right that okay, if you're playing against like certain ignite electrocute champs, like some of them just don't scale at all. But like if they're playing like first strike or conqueror or something, I don't think it's like you're necessarily getting out scale, but I also don't think it's like I wouldn't say you're happy with just doing nothing.
okay.
So yeah, I don't know. The reality is that again depends. I think just like on a getting better level, it's generally better to try and find some sort of lead, even if you don't have to, just because like chances are like if you're a better player, you would be able to find some sort of lead. And generally, I think you should be kind of careful of like again, not that like playing safe or going even or whatever is necessarily bad, but it's more like maybe the closed mindset that I don't like. Like you should try and find an advantage if there is one to be found.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think
Cool.
that's all then.
Oh, good. Sweet. Okay. Blizzard, let's open this up. Are you here, by the way? Like, I'm waiting a while.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
listening.
hell yeah. My God.
Hello.
Hello.
Before we start, I